I'm Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. In today's video, it is time to choose the books on my November TBR, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So typically speaking, when I choose my monthly TBR, I use a method of a random wheel to generate prompts, and then I choose 2 titles from my TBR jar. However, in the last 2 months, I have not been doing a very good job of finishing my monthly TBR at all. 7 books has turned out to just be too much for me. So this month, I'm just going to be choosing 5 books. I am also focusing only on books from series that I need to finish. So I am going to link a video up in the cards where I go over my list of all of the unfinished series that are currently sitting on my TBR list. This is through Goodreads. I will also leave a link down below to my next in series shelf in case you're interested. But what I did is I compiled a list of all of the series where I only have 1 book left to read in the series. And I am going to use a random number generator to pick 5 of those books to put on my November TBR. This is all in an effort to do what I call Start 2022 with a clean slate, where I am going to try really hard before the end of the year to cross some series off my TBR list and finish all of the books on my 21 books to read in 2021 list, and read any books from previous TBRs from this year that I have not read. So that's the plan for the remainder of the year. So as such, my TBR game is going to look a little bit different. I'm going to have a random number generator choose the books for me. But first, I'm going to go ahead and give you a rundown of all of the books on my potential November TBR list. So here those are. So I did type up a list here on my computer. I am old school. I love making lists and typing them up or handwriting them. So I'm going to kind of go rapid fire. I will leave a link down below to all of these books in case you would like to have like a synopsis for them, but I am not going to give that to you right now. So anyway, book number 1 is Initiate by Amy Agresti. Number 2, Of Neptune by Anna Banks. Number 3, Going Rogue by Robin Benway. Number 4, Conspiracy of Blood and Smoke by Anne Blankman. Number 5, Born of Deception by Terry Brown. Number 6, Winterkeep by Kristen Kishore. Number 7, The One by Kiera Cass. Number 8, Rogue by Gina D'Amico. Number 9, Strange and Ever After by Susan Dennard. Number 10, Heart of Glass by Sasha Gould. Number 11, Dance of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. Number 12, House of Many Ways by Diana Wynne Jones. Number 12, The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. Number 13, Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevers. Number 15, Rivals in the City by Y.S. Lee. Number 16, Tempestuous by Leslie Livingston. Number 17, Invisible by Dawn Metcalf. Number 18, Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. Number 19, Resurrection by Amy Carol Reeves. Number 20, The Hollow Heart by Marie Rutkowski. 21 is The Kingdom of Ashes by Rhiannon Thomas, and 22 is Unthinkable by Nancy Werlin. So I listed them by order of the author's last name, in case you're curious. And as I said, I'm going to do a random number generator to pick 5 of them, and those will be the books on my November TBR. So here we go with pick number 1. $11. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so pick number 1, as you saw, was the 11th book on my list, and that book was Dance of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. This is the only book on that list of books that I actually have like physical copies of. I do own some of the other ones, but they are put in a box in the storage locker. So this one I did have. So I'm actually just going to read you the synopsis for the first book to avoid spoilers. So here's the first book. So the first book in this series is called Mask of the Red Death, and it says, everything is in ruins. A devastating plague has decimated the population, and those who are left live in fear of catching it as the city crumbles around them. So what does Araby Worth have to live for? Nights in the debauchery club, beautiful dresses, glittery makeup, and tantalizing ways to forget it all. But in the depths of the club, in the depths of her own despair, Araby will find more than oblivion. She will find Will, the terribly handsome proprietor of the club, and Elliot, the wickedly smart aristocrat. Neither is what he seems. Both have secrets. Everyone does. And Araby may find not just something to live for, but something to fight for, no matter what it costs her. So I read this one back in 2012, which is when it was released. I had an e-galley of that book. Loved it, gave it 5 stars. It is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's Mask of the Red Death. So if you are familiar with that story, that's where this retelling kind of comes from. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I'm probably going to have to try to see if I can find like a quick review of it online before I read this one, but I do remember that I really enjoyed it, hence why I picked up a copy of the second one. I also own a hard copy of the first one, which I did not do very often with e-galleys. So this one is not a very long book. This book has 327 pages. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what I think of it, and this is the first book on my November TBR. All right, now pick number 2. $17. Okay, pick number 2 gave me number 17, which is the book Invincible by Dawn Metcalf. This is book 4 in the Twixt series, and I'm going to read you the synopsis for the first book, which is Indelible. So it says, some things are permanent, indelible, and they cannot be changed back. Joy Malone learns this the night she sees a stranger with all black eyes across a crowded room, right before the mystery boy tries to cut out her eye. Instead, the wound accidentally marks her as property of indelible ink, and this dangerous mistake thrusts Joy into an incomprehensible world. A world of monsters at the window, glowing girls on the doorstep, and a life that will never be the same. Now, Joy must pretend to be Ink's chosen one, his helper, his love, his something for the foreseeable future, and failure to be convincing means a painful death for them both. Swept into a world of monsters, illusion, immortal honor, and revenge, Joy discovers that sometimes there are no mistakes. Somewhere between reality and myth lies the Twixt. So this one came out in 2013, and I gave it 4 stars. I had to look. I really enjoyed this one though. Like, I love fairy books, but this one was different, and that was kind of refreshing. So I have read, obviously, the first 3 books in this series. Really loved them, so I am very excited to get around to finally reading the 4th and final book. Pick number 3. All right, pick number 3 was actually book number 3 on my list, and that book is Going Rogue by Robin Benway. So let me go ahead and read the synopsis for the first book. Okay, the first book in this series, and the series title is Also Known As, and this one was released in 2013, if you're just keeping track. Here is the synopsis, though. Which is more dangerous, being an international spy or surviving high school? Maggie Silver has never minded her unusual life. Cracking safes for the world's premier spy organization and traveling the world with her insanely cool parents definitely beat high school and the accompanying cliques, bad lunches, and frustratingly simple locker combinations. If it's 3 digits, why bother locking it at all? But when Maggie and her parents are sent to New York City for her first solo assignment, her world is transformed. Suddenly, she's attending a private school with hundreds of mean girl wannabes, trying to avoid the temptation to hack the school's elementary security system, and working to befriend the aggravatingly cute son of a potential national security threat, all while trying not to blow her cover. So this one I gave 5 stars. It was one of my favorites of 2013 when I read it, and yeah, I'm very excited to read the second book, even though I don't remember what happened. I'm sure there was like a twist at the end. So again, gonna need to try to find a synopsis for that, but still excited nonetheless. Okay, pick number 4. Is book number 5. Okay, pick number 4, as you saw, was book number 5 on my list, and that book is Born of Deception by Terry Brown. The first book in the series is called Born of Illusion, so here's that synopsis. Anna Van Housen has a secret. A gifted illusionist, Anna assists her mother, the renowned medium Marguerite Van Housen, in her stage show and seances, easily navigating the underground world of magicians, mediums, and mentalists in 1920s New York. As the illegitimate daughter of Harry Houdini, or so Marguerite claims, sleight of hand illusions have never been a challenge for Anna. The real trick is keeping her own gifts secret from her opportunistic mother, because while Marguerite's own powers may be a sham, Anna possesses a true ability to sense people's feelings and foretell the future. But as Anna's powers intensify, she begins to experience frightening visions of her mother in peril, which leads her to explore the powers she's tried so long to hide. And when a mysterious young man named Cole moves into the flat downstairs, introducing Anna to a secret society that studies people with gifts like hers, she is forced to confront her past and rethink everything she's ever known. Is her mother truly in danger, or are Anna's visions merely illusion? And could the great Houdini really be her father, or is it just another of Marguerite's tricks? From Terry Brown comes a world bursting with magic, with romance and the temptations of jazz-age New York, and the story of a girl about to become the mistress of her own identity. So this one, again, was also released in 2013. I gave this one 4 stars. Yeah. I don't remember really anything like that. Synopsis didn't jog my memory at all. So hopefully there is a rewrite of what happened so that I can kind of spark my memory a bit before I read it. But historical fiction with magic, sign me up. So that is book 4. And the last pick, pick number 5. That's 17. We already had 17, so I'm going to re-pick. Re-spin, re-roll, you know what I mean. Okay, 13. 13 is the last pick, so let's see what that one is. That was The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa, which is vampires. The first book in the series is called The Immortal Rules. The series name is Blood of Eden. Let me read you book number 1 synopsis. Okay, it says, to survive in a ruined world, she must embrace the darkness. Allison Sekimoto survives in the Fringe, the outermost circle of a walled-in city. By day, she and her crew scavenge for food. By night, any one of them could be eaten. Some days, all that drives Allie is her hatred of them, the vampires who keep humans as blood cattle, until the night Allie herself dies and becomes one of the monsters. Forced to flee her city, Allie must pass for human as she joins a ragged group of pilgrims seeking a legend, a place that might have a cure for the disease that killed off most of civilization and created the Rabbids, the bloodthirsty creatures who threaten human and vampire alike. And soon Allie will have to decide what and who is worth dying for again. Enter Julie Kagawa's dark and twisted world as an unforgettable journey begins. So this book came out in 2012 and I gave it 3.5 stars, it looks like. Yeah, 3.5 stars. Obviously, Goodreads doesn't do half stars, so I had given it 3. However, the second book, if I remember correctly, I gave 5 stars. Let me check that. Hang on. 5 stars for the second book, which is why I decided to go ahead and add the third and final book to my TBR. I do own this as an ebook on my Kindle, I believe. Yeah, I do remember quite a bit about this series, which is surprising because I read it a really long time ago, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how it wraps up and cross another one off of my to-read list. So those are the 5 books that I'm going to be working on in the month of November. Now, I do have other books that I would like to try to read as well. Books off of my 21 books to read in 2021 list. Wow, y'all. And, or, depending, possibly some books from previous TBRs that I didn't read, so I won't have as much to read in December. So we'll see. But those are the 5 books that I am officially putting on my November TBR. I will go ahead and go over them again. So the first one was Dance of the Red Death. Number 2 is Invincible. Number 3, Going Rogue. Number 4, Born of Deception. And number 5, The Forever Song. So as I mentioned, I will have links down below to the first book in each of those series. And we will just see how I do, because it's been rough getting through my TBR the last couple of months, so fingers crossed. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, even though it wasn't my normal TBR type video, please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.